You know, when we talk about AI agents, we usually picture them plugging into the apps and tools that many of us use every single day. But what happens when every day looks totally different for billions of people? We're going to dive into a side of the AI agent world that often gets overlooked.
It's a really good question, isn't it? You see all these incredible, powerful new AI frameworks pop up, but they seem to be built for a pretty specific part of the internet. If you're not living your digital life on Slack or Discord, you might feel like you're being left out of this whole AI revolution. And it really boils down to where these frameworks are born.
And this is the key right here. The big-name AI agent frameworks, they often have a very Western-centric point of view. They're designed to integrate first and foremost with services popular in North America and Europe. And this isn't just some small inconvenience. It's a huge practical wall for literally millions, maybe even billions of people whose work and social lives run on platforms like WeChat, Feishu, or DingTalk.
But you know how it goes. Whenever there's a gap in the tech world, someone always steps up to build a bridge. And in this case, that bridge is a brand new open source project designed to fix this exact blind spot. So let's meet CountBot. See, CountBot was built from the ground up to solve this problem. And you got to look at the keywords here. It's lightweight, which is awesome for running it yourself. It's open source, so anyone can jump in and contribute. But the most important part, its core mission is to hook up a ton of different large language models directly into the apps at the heart of the Chinese tech world.
And this thing is not sitting still. What's really wild about this timeline is just how fast it's moving. It only went open source a short while ago, and look at the progress. It's already gone from just basic stability to rolling out really complex stuff like multi-agent teams and major security upgrades in just a matter of months. This project is evolving at lightning speed.
So how does it actually pull all this off? Well, the way the developers explain the architecture is actually super intuitive. They think of it as a central hub with 4 main directions, kind of like a compass for all of the AI's tasks. This is just a fantastic way to picture it. Up is the connection to the brains, all the different LLMs. Out is the connection to you, the user, no matter which chat app you're on. In handles all the internal housekeeping, the roles, the memory, the security. And execution is how the agent actually does things in the real world by connecting to tools. It's so simple but so powerful. Now, what's really cool is how this simple structure lets you build something way more complex. Okay, this is where it gets really fun, especially for tough problems. CountBot lets you build teams of agents that can work together in 3 different modes. A pipeline is like an assembly line. One agent does its job, then passes the result to the next. A graph is more like an office org chart, where different agents have specific roles and can talk to each other as needed. And a council, well, that's like a boardroom meeting, where a bunch of agents debate an issue and vote on the best path forward. And the best part, as you can see on the right, is you can mix and match models. Use a fast, cheap AI to just route tasks and save the big, powerful model for the really heavy lifting. When you look at this table, you realize this is so much more than just a chatbot. It's got a solid agent loop that can reason, act, and learn. It's got those team modes we just talked about and persistent memory. But check out crone and heartbeat. That means it can run tasks on a schedule and send you reminders without you even asking. This thing is built for serious, autonomous, long-term jobs. Okay, the tech is slick, for sure. But so what? Why should we pay attention to this framework when there are so many out there? Well, the answer is that it's not just cool tech. It's solving real, practical problems for a massive number of people. Here's the bottom line. First, the support for channels like WeChat isn't just some add-on. It's the whole point. It brings AI agents directly into the apps where people are actually spending their time. And second, the domestic LLM routing, that's a total game changer. Trying to use international models from certain parts of the world can be incredibly slow, super expensive, or sometimes just plain blocked. CountBot completely sidesteps that by plugging right into local, high-performance models. All right, so you might be thinking, this sounds pretty amazing. I want to give it a try. So let's walk through what it takes to get it running. And just as importantly, let's talk about a few caveats to keep in mind. You know, one of the best ways to tell an open source project is growing up is when it starts getting serious about security. This update is a perfect example. Before, if you set up a server remotely, the setup page was at a URL anyone could guess. Not great. Now, it generates a temporary, random URL that disappears after a while. It's a simple change that makes a world of difference for keeping things safe. And that update brought more goodies too. The ability to plug in external coding tools means your agent can act like a manager.
delegating complex coding tasks to other specialized AIs. Plus, locking down remote access by default is another one of those smart, security-first moves that shows this project is ready for the real world. Now, for anyone wanting to get their hands dirty, the good news is getting started is refreshingly simple. It's the classic 4-step dance for any Python developer. You clone the repo, jump into the folder, install the requirements, and then just run the app. You can honestly be up and running in just a couple of minutes.
Okay, full transparency here. It's important to remember this project is still super young. That means things might change, and a lot of the deep dive documentation is in Chinese for now. There's also no official Docker setup yet, which means deploying it on a server is a bit of a manual job. These aren't deal breakers, but it's the reality of jumping into an exciting, early-stage project.
CountBot is just a fascinating look at AI adapting to local needs, instead of forcing everyone into the same box. And it really leaves us with a huge question to think about. As this trend continues, and AI becomes more tailored to specific cultures and technologies, what other kinds of amazing specialized agents are going to pop up? What new problems will they solve for communities all around the world that we haven't even considered yet?